Here we go. I'm flying in. And this looks as cool as I remember it looks. I cannot wait to see this thing with mobs flying out the bottom of it. It is going to look totally bonkers. Welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 125, and today we are going to be working very hard on this new mob farm that we built in the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Now, this thing is huge. We have got 9 layers, or 9 segments that are 10 blocks across, 32 blocks long, so that's 320 spawning spaces per segment. As I say, we've got 9 of them, so loads and loads of spawning spaces. It's all powered by flying machines, and it looks nuts. And I cannot wait to see just monsters pouring out the bottom of this thing, because that is going to look extra specially nuts. But right now, there is one fairly key element missing, and that is the killing area. Right now, the mobs will just fall out the bottom of it, and they would land in the water, and then eventually I'd get a very angry message from Exumavoid saying that I'm crashing the server because there'd be hundreds upon hundreds of mobs down here. So we're going to need to do something about that, and at the end of the previous episode we actually created a bit of a design. And this design uses a ton of resources that I definitely don't have. I mean, I'm holding out a lot of hope here. I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't think that's going to be enough for us to actually do it, but that's positive. You know, I gotta say though, there is something quite satisfying about gathering up large quantities of magma. Does anyone sell magma? I feel like nobody is selling magma. Keep in mind, I am the worst at knowing what other people are selling. It's impossible to keep up with. So after doing a little bit of resource gathering, I've now gathered up all the magma, and we've got that in place, so that is going to be our killing platform. Then these pistons right here are going to release the water. So the idea is that the magma is where the mobs fall down onto. If they don't die, some of them have feather falling, then they should be killed off by the magma. All of the items will sit up there, and then after a little while, the water will be released, all the items will be pushed across, and they'll all end up in a storage system. I cannot personally take credit for this idea. Ilmango came up with it first. Like all good things in Minecraft, let's be honest with you. Anyway, after a little bit more progress, if I break this redstone torch... Okay, the water goes across, that's all good, and then replace the redstone torch. I can see things just gradually spawning on this. I've got to be a little bit wary here. But that is all looking... that all looks cool. So now we just have to do the timing circuits, and I need to connect it up to the redstone lines, which detect when the flying machines actually return. Now, I think the best way for us to send the signal downwards from the top is probably using slime blocks. We're going to have sticky pistons with slime blocks and then redstone blocks, which I am running so low on redstone blocks or anything redstone related right now. So we're going to send that down, and then that will hit that. We're going to have to add a delay, some pulse extenders. I mean, it's... I'm curious to see if I can actually make this work. So I've got a 4-tick repeater running out from the observer that is going to be detecting the flying machine. Then I've got another 4 ticks here. We've got the pulse extender, and I've got 2 more 4-tick repeaters. And then I've got the little signal shooter, which is going to be sending that signal down to the bottom. Now, I wonder, how does this look? Okay, there's no real pretty way to do this until we get wireless redstone. This is as good as it gets, except it's not. It's not. There's something that I can do with daylight sensors. We can send the signal downwards. I'm just trying to remember how I could do it. Oh, give me a second. I mean, it doesn't even look that bad, but I really want to work this out now. This is actually a little bit more complicated than I was expecting. Oh, okay. So... that can send a signal, but then if it gets dark, I mean, I'm assuming... yeah, I don't know what to do. The answer is obviously to look on YouTube, and Raiseworks has done something very smart. So he's used another daylight sensor almost to control... It's a difficult one to describe. I'll put a link to his video down in the description, but it's such a smart idea, and it solves all of the problems that I was running into that made my design totally not function, and makes this design brilliant. I love it when I see just smart solutions like this. I mean, look, there's next to nothing to this, yet it's so well done. So let's see what happens here then. If we power this piston... that is so cool. That's nuts. Obviously, we need to invert the signal, but still, I am beyond impressed by this. All right, okay, let's get that built on the opposite side too. Oh my goodness. So I've just been working on this thing. What on earth? Look how many mobs there are in this already. And that's on one layer. There's 2 more layers. Goodness me. This might actually be quite efficient. That's so ridiculous. Anyway, the other side is now all fully completed. So we have got the water flushing system and also the killing zone on that side too, completely hooked up with the daylight sensors and all that good stuff. All I needed to do was sleep through the night so that we didn't die and grab a lever. Oh, I've just thought I need to remove all of the glowstone from inside here and also add some bits to the flying machines. Right, give me a second. So the modifications that I'm making are to make way for spiders because spiders could cause issues. So first off, I've closed up the gaps between each one of the layers, so that should stop anything from traveling in between them. And I've also added some blocks to the top of our flying machines that will sweep spiders along as well, because I realized that if the spiders managed to climb up to the top, they would then be protected from the sweepers, which isn't particularly good, is it? I can see these things gradually filling up with mobs, which is good. This is the last sweeper all done. And now we remove the glowstone from this final layer too. And that is the mob spawner, in theory, all pretty much done. Jeez. Look at this. It's gone manic already. I am very curious to see what happens when we flick this lever here. Okay, so that has activated everything. Are all of the mobs? Have all of the mobs been swept out? I mean, they should have been. I can... Oh! Nice! Right, now, is the water going to work? It does seem to have done. So that just swept all of those items into, yeah, into the water. Okay, we could start creating some lag. Wow, this is actually working though. All right, let's turn this thing off. So in terms of our item collection system, originally I was going to have water streams that all poured into the middle, but I realized that actually that's not that smart. Instead, I'm going to pick up all the items with hoppers. They're going to go to the end, they're then going to go into droppers, and then we're going to have a single item stream which takes them up and moves them into some chests. Now, eventually I might transport the items from here back to my base somehow, but for the time being, it's just going to be a little temporary storage system. So that's all the hoppers in place, and also all of the fence posts in place, which are going to stop the mobs from actually falling off the edge if they haven't died, but are getting pushed by the water. Now I'm just placing these little guys in, and those guys, and then we're pretty much done. I have never used so many rockets in such a short space of time before on a project. I think I've gone through about 3, maybe even 4 stacks in today's episode, and in the previous episode I went through about 8. Somehow a creeper has managed to explode up here on one of the platforms. That is... Is that something to be worried about? I mean, surely that's a one-off. I'm hoping that that's a one-off. Anyway, everything should now be done. I've made some modifications to the platforms to hopefully make sure that no mobs land on top of the redstone. All of them should land inside the killing zones. I've done all of the item collection systems. I've done all of the item filtering systems. I've made sure that we have somewhere that our items are going to go. Very temporary at this point in time. It's all looking very, very good. Now, obviously, all I want to do is test this thing right now, but Iskal has just sent me a message asking me to pop over to one of the Sahara areas. He's got something interesting to show me, and to be honest with you, I do fancy geeking out over some redstone today, so let's go take a look.
I've summoned you here because for the past week, and I'm not kidding, for the past week, I've been stuck in our warehouse here at Sahara. I have created something that I tried to explain to Grian, and he didn't really catch on. I'm pretty sure you, as the technical admin and superstar of Sahara, will appreciate. You remember that storage room that I built for us and organized everything, and then Grian deorganized it slowly over time?
Yeah. Oh!
Ripped it out, because I needed the space to create this.
Oh, good grief! This looks pretty fantastic. Wow.
Thank you.
I'm actually impressed. See now this I actually feel like
I'll take the elevator down, and you do you.
Okay. So I mean, I feel like you know a little bit about me, that you know that storage silos are kind of they're the sorts of things that get me excited in Minecraft. I don't know what it is about them, But
they're cool though. They're epic looking. Right?
They're just amazing.
The scale thing.
They're just the best.
boxes came out, and we were like, "Oh, we can't do storage silos anymore."
Yeah, exactly. Like, what on earth? They've ruined Minecraft.
But these are actually not storage silos.
Right. Oh, okay.
To disappoint.
Right.
these are stock indicators.
Oh, I see. That's even cooler.
So you can see exactly the amount of stock that Sahara has at this moment in time.
Right.
And it's precise. It's 100% precise. So what this means here, look at the comparator, for example. We have 4 sets of comparators. And if you hover the little item frame, it says we sell them 32 per diamond. So that means that we have however many comparators that is in the warehouse about.
Right. So what's this comparator down? What are these comparators down in this chest down here?
These are the key cards. These are our sales that we have made. So the idea is once one runs out, like for example the observer over here, we know that we need to restock the observers.
Yep.
We then take the key card, we restock the observers. When I say we restock the observers, I have a little bit of an internal thing going on. I mean you need to restock the observers. I've restocked everything else. Can you restock observers, please?
Okay, yes.
And it's not because I don't have cobblestone.
Right.
Just saying, that's not the reason.
Right.
If you get 1,000 comments saying Iskall don't have cobblestone and don't want to admit to you that it's a great block to farm, then that has nothing to do with it, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it, sure.
Yes. But anyway, so we need to restock observers. So what we would do is we would pick up these 9 key cards in the chest.
Yep.
We would restock the module.
Yep.
And we would upstairs in the warehouse, like we restock.
Yep.
And then we press this button and we put the key cards in the shop front. And boom, we are restocked. And then when someone makes a purchase, let me illustrate. You stand down there.
Yep.
Let me say that I'm a Sahara customer. I'm all the way at the shop front. Mama, can you hear me? I'm at the shop front. Hello. I'm just gonna buy 9. Observers 32 diamonds per observer set. That's also I'm gonna buy 9 sets. That's all you've stocked. Mumbo.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm back here now. So now, when we had that stupid customer who just bought the observers,
yep,
we should see, because he bought 9 sets, which is the full stock, we should see this thing completely drain. Give it a moment. This is Sahara we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say anything. Are you getting more and more nervous now? No, I'm confident. Speed doesn't matter in this because this is cool. This is very, very, very cool, to be fair. I'm actually super impressed by that. So that was pretty cool. Now it's time to get back onto the mob spawner because actually there's a bunch more stuff to do. So obviously one thing that we need to work on is the gigantic roof that goes over the top of this thing that has to extend out massively. But one thing that I hadn't thought of, that I have just thought of, is that obviously everything underneath that roof now needs to be spawn proof. So we need to make sure that we cover all of this stuff with slabs. It's so frustrating building in this place. I hate it. After many more frustrating moments like that, we're now all spawn proof and ready to build the thing that, as you can probably tell, I've been putting off for quite some time. I don't even think it's going to take that long. It's just never exciting building a massive area of slabs. So we have to build out 15 blocks in this direction, 15 blocks in this direction, 15 blocks in that direction, and in that direction, and then fill that area with stone slabs to make this entire place completely pitch black. Completely dark. Oh, you know what I've just thought? After spending all that time developing those daylight sensor redstone systems and the ability to wirelessly send down the redstone signal, it's not going to work, is it? Because it's going to be in pitch black regardless. I'm tired, okay? My brain doesn't work very well when it's tired. This new storage system is really quite satisfying to watch though, so I suppose I'll take that as a positive. This is how big the roof needs to be. That is going to look... I'm actually glad that we have to build this, because it is going to look totally bonkers once it's all fully built in. I'm terrible at landing today. 1 inventory's worth of stone slabs later, this is how far I've managed to get. And... yep. I mean, I've decided to go round first and then cover up the mob farm. We almost managed to make it all the way round without having to refill. But I imagine this is probably another inventory load. Maybe even only half an inventory. I must be able to find some more stone slabs somewhere. I've run out again. It looks like we're going to have to smelt up another batch. It's funny, no matter how fast this thing is, it still feels slow when you're having to wait for it. Anyway, finally, we got there. Everything is now all filled in. The roof is on top of this, and I think I've come up with a solution for my daylight sensor systems. Originally, it was going to be leaf blocks, but I thought of an even better solution, which is far smarter. And that is to create two tubes that kind of funnel the light down towards the daylight sensor, but make it so that the light doesn't reach the mob farm, so this thing is still in complete darkness. Seems to have worked. Now we just test this thing, and I am absolutely 100% terrified. Here goes, flicking the lever, and things are being pushed. Now, I haven't really worked out where I'm actually going to AFK on this thing. I guess I should probably AFK about 30 blocks above. But I mean, let's see. Are mobs actually going to start falling out of here? Yes! Oh my goodness! That seemed like a lot of mobs to me. Hang on a second. That's ridiculous. And the water streams all seem to work. That was quite a lot less mobs. Are they all landing in the right place? I mean, they do seem to be. This seems to be functioning pretty well. This seems to be working really quite well. To see just how well it's working, I'm actually going to go AFK for an hour. Let's see what happens. Now, I actually thought it would be fun to do this in the form of a third-person time-lapse, so you could see all of the mobs cascading down from the mob spawner, and I thought, while we watch this happening, because it's very therapeutic, I will talk to you about the fact that I am in Nashville this week. In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow. I am off to do a Minecon panel and then also visit the Minecon live show as well. All of that is happening this weekend, and it's all extremely exciting. I'm very happy to be going there. We're going to be meeting up with Iskal, Scar, a bunch of the other hermits and everyone. We're all going to be on the panel together. It's going to be great. And I just thought I'd let you guys know that you should probably be up to date on my Twitter and on my Instagram, and also on all of the other hermits' Twitters and Instagram, especially if you're in the Nashville area, because we are in the process of planning a meetup. So it will be cool to see some of you guys out there if you are interested. Anyway, back onto the Hermitcraft server. So, 1 hour has passed. I'm going to break down my little platform that I've created up at the top here. Now, I did have some interesting things happen. The server actually crashed, and I kind of panicked because I wondered if I was the one that had caused the server crash. I don't think I was. But more importantly, flying machines don't really like the server closing while they're running. So I thought there was a chance that they had all got stuck, but thankfully it seems like all of them are still moving, and I am so curious to know how many drops we have managed to get. So I think, oh, that's, how's that happened? And why is it only on one side? That is bizarre. So we've lost a bunch of items in the water, because those are just the ones that haven't despawned yet. Whoa. Regardless, that's not bad, is it? That is not bad at all. So with some fairly simple upgrades, this, I mean, what is going on with this area? Look, on this side, there's even mobs, like mob drops on the fence. Okay, clearly these aren't aligned the same. I must have got my maths wrong slightly. But, I mean, I am impressed. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have got ourselves a monstrous mob farm on the Hermitcraft server that seems to be working almost perfectly. It's like 99% perfect. I'm sure with a few small upgrades, it will be perfect. And then it'll be just chuffing out mob drops left, right, and center. So very excited for that one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya! Now, I'm just going to do a shameless plug right here. I recently released a film on the Filming channel. You should check it out if you're interested in that sort of thing, what I've been up to over there. I actually went behind the scenes on a pretty high-end commercial and got to chat with the director and everything like that. It was super interesting, cool for me, and I've made a video on it, and I like it.